Let's get this over with right now, right here, okay? So I never thought I would actually say this in a video before, but today, the first penis I actually saw today was actually not my own. I know, that sounds a little bit weird, a little bit too much information. Maybe it's making you a little bit uncomfortable. Well, if that's actually what it's doing, congratulations. You're pretty much going to kind of get all those shits kind of in the package, the movie. So let's talk about this shit right now and, you know, buckle up, all right? So here's the thing about this movie. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but I actually kind of had a fun time with it. Now, Netflix doesn't really knock it out of the park when it comes to the movies, but at least recently, you know, with the setup, I actually thought that was pretty good, and now they're kind of doing this. I think they actually see like maybe they're kind of finding something here. Now this movie, like I said, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but overall, the straight up premise, if you don't know, it's pretty much about, you know, a group of friends, and then one of their friends kind of cut off his penis. They got to race against time to kind of give it back to him so he can, you know, get it back, obviously. The problem with this thing is that it's just one dick joke, just ran for like an hour and 34 minutes. And you probably think, well, that just sounds like it's just kind of boring. Well, it's not boring, surprisingly enough. I think this movie actually manages to kind of tweak the shit to the point where it doesn't feel like it's completely boring. Now, granted, it does drag because it's really just a premise of just a friend, you know, cutting his shit off, and then they having physical humor with the dick, constantly, with sucking out the dick, with pointing the dick at people putting it on a, you know, a slurping machine. That's pretty much it. It's just that one long dick joke just kind of ramp all the way through the entire film. I think this movie could have been cut short, about 20 minutes, to make it about an hour 10, because it does eventually get to that dead movie theater feel. And you probably think, what's a dead movie theater feel? Well, it's pretty much when you kind of watch the movie, it's not that bad, and you start to kind of feel like silence is starting to happening around you. It's kind of dead in the air, and then you start to realize, man, time is kind of slowing the fuck down. Even though the movie's only an hour 34 minutes, it feels like it could be almost an hour 55. That's pretty much a dead movie theater feel. I got the same feeling for Grudge Match. Stallone and, you know, Stallone and De Niro, Schwarzenegger. That would have been interesting, though. Here's the thing, though, also. The movie does succeed well on the cast. The cast is actually pretty good. All the friends, they actually are really well when it comes to comedic shit. And I think, granted, the writing is not that well, but I think one of the also main positives is, simply put, everybody has good comedic timing. And the way they kind of deliver their lines is actually one of the better things of the movie. Like the girl from Blockers, I believe her name is Geraldine. Right, I do find it funny that Blockers' original title was Cock Blockers, and then this movie is called The Package. So I'm just wondering if her next film is going to be The Shaft, or The Rod, or whatever you want to call it, another dick joke title, because I feel like she's clearly not choosing these things based on the title and hopefully the material, just to begin with. But she's actually one of the better parts of this thing. Once again, she's actually fairly attractive. I don't know, she's something about her is very attractive, yo. But now let's get back on track. The dude from Alex Strangelove, he's a pretty good lead, and everybody actually delivers it very well. I think, like I said, I think the physical humor is the best part of this thing, on top of the chemistry between the cast. Now, it sounds like some very generic, you know, blah, 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 you know, critic type of shit to say, but it is. There's nothing really much to say about it. It's, like I said, it's just a premise kind of stretched through, and it's really, you know, dependent on the cast themselves. That's pretty much all you really get. There's really nothing to really talk about other than that. It's just a movie that kind of does drag. It should have been cut shorter. Blake Anderson pops up for a small cameo, which I kind of thought was funny, but it also kind of felt like, it's a little bit boring. Like, the movie does try to have a little bit of heart, a little bit of conflict towards the end, but I do feel like it just kind of felt like it was so quick, the conflict, that it happened and then it ended, that it felt like, why even put a conflict to begin with? I know sometimes these characters gotta, you know, evolve, have a journey, you know, fuck it, right? But I just felt like that didn't really do shit for the movie, to the point where this movie actually could have just, you know, fucked around all the way to the end, and I think it still would actually succeed a lot better than adding, you know, some shitty 2-minute conflict, get resolved, whatever it may be. Now, the movie does seem a little bit predictable. You know how it's pretty much going to end, but I think this movie does a couple of surprises, weirdly, to the point where it actually does manage to kind of keep you on your toes as to what the fuck they're trying to do. But overall, like I said, it's not fantastic, not spectacular, though I think it's actually one of the better teen raunchy comedies I've seen in a while. And it's definitely one of the better Netflix movies that I actually really enjoy. It's nothing spectacular, it's nothing special, but hey, when you have a morning full of dick, you know, you just can't beat that. You know what I'm saying? Right. Comment, subscribe, and like. Share this video if you can. I'm also on Instagram if you want to, you know, do that. I'm also on Snapchat. You know, I'm just going to start plugging shit. The Hat Trick 1994. There you go. Just plugging the shit out of that thing. But comment, subscribe, and like. Check out my other videos. Let's talk about cuckolds. I'm Chris Smith, and I'm signing out.